So this is the standard trigonometric formulas. Okay. So you might be knowing them.
Yes.
Do you know?
Uh, uh, I forgot to.
Okay. So I'll take first. I'll teach you how to remember. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and derive each and everything. So how to remember first? Trick. So see here, things are here. Okay. So how will you remember these things? It's like sine inverse x. So first one is sine inverse x. Yeah. Sine uh, tan inverse x, and so I'm giving you the trick for sine, tan, and secant. Okay. So find dy by dx. What is the trick is just give a equal to sign. So here is s. This is s. This is also s, right? So what you can do, uh, just give like this, denominator. Yeah. And here, wherever s is coming, s means subtract. S stands for subtract. Okay. So here subtract with minus. So you will give minus here, okay, minus here. But what is this t? This t looks like plus. So you'll give here plus. Okay. So this trick, if you remember, you will never forget. Okay. What I'm going to do is sine inverse x is nothing but 1 by, right? I said x square. Here x square, and in secant it will come x square first. Then write one here, one here, one here. Okay. And everything is 1 by this. And sine will be having root. Okay. All are having root. Tan will not have root. So wherever you are subtracting, right, that will have root over. Not getting?
I'm getting.
So it is very important that you understand this, because each time you will not be able to derive. What I'm saying is, let me erase first. So wherever s is coming, okay, in sine and secant, s is there. So both will stand for subtract. So in denominator of all three, you will write, I mean, s means subtract, so write minus. Okay. Sine also is subtract, so write minus. Okay. Tan stands for this. This symbol is for plus. This is like the tan, right? You are writing tan like this. So write plus here. 1 in the numerator, 1. Now for it is x square. So 1 will be coming, and sine is 1 minus root x square. Right? Tan is, write x square here, 1 plus x square. No root here. But secant is x square minus 1, root is, and here mod x will come. So you have to remember like this. Okay. I'll teach you how to derive now only. So this side, if sine is here, I need cos here. Right? One minute. Let me remove it. Sine is here, cos is missing. So what will be the dy by dx of cos inverse x? Now this is cot inverse x. Okay. Sec is there, cosecant. Okay. So you just copy them and put a minus sign. Okay. It will be just 1 minus x square. Whatever you have written here, same thing will go to cos, but this will be minus. Okay. Cot inverse x is also minus, right? Yeah. So whatever you have written in 10, right? 1 by 1 plus x square. So copy them and put minus. Okay. Here also cosecant will be same. It is x square minus 1 mod x, and this will come as minus. Okay. So all the formulas are same. Okay. But here only minus you are putting. Okay. What we are putting? Minus. Can we do one more time? Just tell me now. Hmm. What will come in sign?
1 by 1 minus x square.
Yeah. So it is 1 minus. It's a minus. Minus will come here. 1 minus x square. Right? Tan is having plus. So it will be 1 by
1 plus x square.
x square. And secant square is minus. So 1 by root over x square minus 1. Okay. It is other way around. It is not 1 minus x square minus 1. And here mod x will come.
Mod x.
Okay. Then just for cos, tan, and sec, you will write minus here. Okay. Cos inverse x, cot inverse x, and cosecant inverse x. Right? No need to mug up. Okay.
Yes, sir.
1 by root over 1 minus x square. Okay. Put minus. Copy this 1 plus x square. Then minus cosecant. Copy this sec inverse x. And minus. Okay. Very easy. Now I need to teach you how to how it works. Okay? Suppose in exam or in board exams says that find the dy by dx of find dy by dx of sine inverse x. How will we do? I cannot directly write, right? Dy by dx of sine inverse x is we know, just now we understood, right? That d by dx of sine inverse x is how much? Just now we shown out, beta, 1 minus x
Yes.
square. But I can't keep mugging up, right? What we will do, we know this is the function, right? So just put like this. Let, I'm going very slow because this is a complex topic. Y equal to sine inverse minus x, sine inverse x. Okay? So what will you write? Which implies, right? What we can write here? It means sine y equal to x, correct? Hmm?
Yes.
Now, differentiating with respect to x. Okay, what will come? Sine y will become differentiation of sine is cos.
Cos
So cos y and differentiation of
dy
y,
dx.
dy by
Dx.
dx. So this will become differentiation of x is
1.
1. So from here, we have to find dy by dx. Dy by dx is nothing but 1 by cos x. But it is coming in cos y. It should come in the form of sine y, right? So cos y is nothing but, we know, right? Sine square y plus cos square y equal to 1. So cos y will be becoming how much from here?
Root of 1 minus
Yeah.
science.
So it will be root of 1 minus sine square y. And it means what? From here, sine y is how much? X is x, right? So this will become, put the value of sine here. Sine y is x. So sine square y will be x square, right? We got right? You got it?
Yes.
Or should I explain again?
No, sir.
Let us do one more time. Okay? You should be thorough. So what did I say? Find the dy by dx of sine inverse x. So put y equal to sine inverse x, which implies, tell now steps. Keep telling.
Sin y is equal to x.
Okay.
And differentiate with respect to x.
Yes. Now differentiate.
Cos y dy by dx is equal to 1.
Yeah. So this will be cos y dy by dx is equal to 1.
And dy by dx is equal to 1 by. So
1 by cos y.
cos y is equal to
Beta.
root of 1 minus sine square y,
Yes. 1 minus sine square y.
which is x.
From here, we'll be writing. Easy.
Yes.
And from formula also we know, right? What will be the s is, we said, right? S is subtract. So it is coming in subtract only. minus, correct? So whatever trick we applied, that is also working. Now second, y equal to cos inverse x. I am assuming this. Right? So dy by dx of this we have to find, correct? So dy by dx is equal to how much? Means we are going to find d by dx of cos inverse x. Okay? So I have assumed let y equal to cos inverse x. Now tell it is, sorry, cos y, right? Cos y equal to x. Now, what is the differentiation of cos y?
Minus
Differentiating with respect to x. This will be minus sin y. And y differentiation dy by dx. Differentiation of x is 1. So, which implies dy by dx is minus 1 by sin y, correct?
yeah.
Now, I don't know sin y. We know cos y, right? So, this will be how much? Can I write 1 minus
Half square. Right?
and minus here? And cos y is x. So, this will be minus 1 by root over. Easy, no?
Yes.
Easy or not?
Yes.
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 Yes. So now we'll do for 10 also. Let y equal to tan inverse x. So which implies what we can write? Tan will come this side. So tan y is equal to x. Now differentiating with respect to x. Tell how much will come? What is the differentiation of 10x?
Secant square.
So this will be secant square y and y will be dy by dx. And x will become 1. Okay? Which means dy by dx is equal to 1 by sec square y. But here there is no sec. So I have to write secant square, sec in terms of 10. So we know, right? Sec inverse y minus tan inverse y equal to 1. Correct? So from here, secant square y will be how much? 1 plus tan square y. Now I just want to substitute this here. How much it will come? 1 plus tan square y. And we know tan y is x. So this will be 1 by 1 plus. In place of 10 y, you will be writing x. So this will become x square. Correct? Any doubt?
Yes.
Let us do one more time for this. Tell me slowly. Okay? Don't go hurry. If you understand these things, it will be very easy. Okay? Now tell.
And y is equal to x.
Yeah. So we'll be writing tan will come this side. tan y equal to x. Now differentiating with respect to x. This will be so, into dy by del.
dx equal
Okay.
to 1.
So dy by dx will be
Dx is equal to 1 by secant square.
but here in question there is no secant. I have to write it in terms of secant is how much?
Tan square x minus 1.
How much will come now?
1 plus tan square x.
Yeah, 1 plus tan square y.
That's all.
Now tan y is x, right? So we'll be writing 1 by 1 plus tan y is x. So this will become x square. Clear? Fourth, in your class, teachers are not teaching like this.
Yes.
Oh, it's very bad. Okay, now I want to know what is for cot, right? Y equal to cot inverse x. How will we do it? Cot will
Uh,
come this side. Cot y equal to x. This is substitution. This is original question, right? Now differentiate this. What is the differentiation of cot? Hmm?
minus cosecant square. Y cosecant square. Minus cosecant square y.
This one, correct or wrong?
Correct, sir.
So now it will be dy by dx. It is minus 1 by cosine y. How will you write now? Any possibility?
Uh, I-
Which identity you can use? See, there we use sec
1
is
minus uh,
tell
1 minus sin 1 minus sin square x.
1 minus sin square x. This is cosecant square x.
Oh, 1 minus cot. What?
Hmm.
1 plus cot square x.
Yes. So came no? Cot is how much? Cot y, not x. See, you should not confuse with x and y, okay? Otherwise, answer will not come. Cot y is x. This is 1 plus x square. Clear, sir? Any doubt, then tell me, I will repeat.
No, no, sir.
Okay. Now, we have to do for secant x. Means sec inverse x. What will you do? bring sec this side. So this will become sec y is equal to x. Now differentiating with respect to x. Okay? You can write also in short, differentiating with respect to x. If it is not visible, I'll make it big also. Okay? What we can write now? Secant y means secant y into tan y. Then y dy by dx is equal to 1. So dy by dx is equal to 1 by secant y tan y. Okay? Now secant y I can write as x. 1 by x. Okay? What will be tan y? Sec square y minus tan square y equal to 1. So from here, tan y will be how much? Tan square y will be, tan square y will go this side. It will be secant square y minus 1. Okay? From here, tan y will become root over secant square y minus 1. Okay? This you can write root over x square minus. This is what I wrote, correct? Clear, right?
Yes.
Now let us do the last one. It's very easy. If you go with process, things are very easy. What is remaining? Cosecant, right? So now bring cosecant in this side. So this will become cosecant y is equal to x. Now differentiating with respect to x. You should write these things in a brain. Okay? Differentiating with respect to x. What is the differentiation of cosecant x? D by dx of this is minus cosecant x into cot x, correct? Son, are you understanding this?
Yes.
Okay, so now this will become minus cosecant y into cot y into y dy by dx is equal to 1. So from here, what will be dy by dx?
Uh,
1 by minus cosecant y cot y, correct?
yes.
Minus. Now cosecant y is x. But what is cot y? Just now we saw, right? What was the formula? Second. What is the relationship between cosecant and Cot. Cot
One.
in no. So cosecant square x minus cot square x or cot square x minus cosecant x. Which one is that?
Uh, yes.
1 minute. Cosecant square minus cot square. So I was writing correct only. So cosecant square x minus cot square x equal to 1. From here, cot x square x will become, cot will go this way, this one will come this way, 1 will come this way, equal to, always it will be from this minus this, okay, one side. So what will be cot, cot y from here? Let me erase this, okay. From here, cot y will become root over cosecant square x minus 1. But y, right? It's not x. This is y. Okay, it's y. So see, cosecant x, cosecant y x. So we are replacing, in place of this will come x. And in place of cot, it will come root over x square minus 1. Correct? Any doubt?
No, sir.
So what did I teach in the beginning? That sine inverse x, then tan inverse x and sec secant square x. So dy by dx of these. How much will be this? This is having s, s. So this will subtract. 1 minus x square. Secant square will also be subtracted. But it will be x square minus 1. Right? And x will also come here. We are mostly they write in mode. Tan square x, this is what? S means subtract. T looks like plus. So this will be nothing but 1 by 1 plus x square. And sine corresponding to cos. Cos inverse x, cot inverse x, and cosecant inverse. Just tell, what do you recall? Just now we saw. So this will
Minus.
be copied minus. Easy, right? This will be minus 1 by 1 plus x square. And this is 1 by root over minus. Okay. So you will never forget it. Let us solve some basic questions. Then we'll go for advanced. Are you enjoying maths now?
Yes.
Now I'm writing this. Y equal to sine inverse 2x. Tell how will we do? They're asking us to find dy by dx. Very basic. You can directly do with formula also. You can do with method. I would say go with method. Sine will come this side. Sine y equal to 2x. Now differentiate with respect to y. Correct? So this will be cos y into dy by dx. It will be d by dx of this much. This will become 2. Clear? So now dy by dx is equal to how much? 2 by cos y. But in question there is no cos. Here also cos is not there. Here also cos is not there. Right? What we have to simply do? Write cos in form of sine. 1 minus sine square y. Right? So sine y is 2x. So sine square y will be how much? This is square, right? This will be 4x square. Clear?
Yes, sir.
2 by 1 minus 4x square. So did we understood it? Did we get everything correctly or not?
Yes, sir.
There is no need to remember any formula. You should know method. Directly also we could have done. So you can apply chain rule. D by dx of sine inverse x is this much. Right? 1 minus. Now they have given a question like this. D by dx of sine inverse in place of x, 2x is given. Okay. So in place of x, you should apply 2x. This will become 1 by 1 minus, in place of x, 2x will come into d by dx of this. This one needs to be differentiated. So you can do anything, sir. Okay. Now just break them. 1 minus 4x square into this will be 2. This is your answer. 2 by 1 minus 4x square. Same thing came now here also. So whichever you like, you can make. Okay. This is also okay, and this is also fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me practice question. I'm not going to NCRT today. I'll build some concept for you. Okay. Let us solve some random questions. So we have solved these sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, cosec. Can we solve this? This you can easily solve. Pi into sine inverse x. How will you do? Let us do y equal to 5 sin inverse x. First question is y equal to 5 into sin inverse x. What will be dy by dx for this? Hmm?
Okay.
You will write y by 5, correct? Equal to sin inverse x. Hmm? Then bring this side x. So this will become sin y by 5 is equal to x. So this method will be little time consuming here, but you will not make mistakes. So this is angle. So differentiating with respect to y. What is the differentiation of sine? Cos, right? Cos y by 5. Then we have to write d by dx of y upon 5. Now this is 1, correct? Cos y by 5. This 5 is constant, it will come out. Now this will be, sorry, into dy by dx is equal to 1. So from here dy by dx will be how much? 5 will go up, cross multiplication, 5 by cos y by 5. But in question cos is not there. What we will do? This cos, this is angle, no? We can easily write it 1 minus sin a square y by 5. And sin y by 5 is x. So this became 5 into root 1 minus x square. Because answers are coming, no? Or you are getting confused?
No, sir.
Directly also you can do. This question you can do directly as well.
Yes.
So dy by dx will be, just apply this formula. Phi is constant. The differentiation of sin inverse x is 1 by root over 1 minus x square. This is what came. Now, I hope you can do all these things. Can we do cos inverse? Or we can do 8th. I want to do 8th first. Okay. What is 8th? Is it visible?
Yes.
Now tell. Don't go to formula now. I mean, don't go to the derivation. Now you know. This is tan, right? So dy by dx will be 3 into, this is t. So this will be plus 1 plus x square. Correct? Tell for cos.
We 2 into minus 1 by 1 minus x square.
Hmm. But this is not our answer. Next step will be our answer. So 3 by 1 plus x square. Minus minus plus. Okay. In this kind of question, if you are forgetting the rule, right, then treat this as y, then again y, and derived separately, and then do. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Ninth, how will we do? See, things are easy only, but practice is required. There are humongous questions. There are many questions, and we can't do everything, but you should understand the rule and then do. Okay. All right. So this is ninth. So differentiate with respect to x. Can you please tell me how will you come? Y will become differentiation. Dy by dx. This pi is constant. So this will become 0 minus sine inverse x is 1 by root over 1 minus x. So answer is minus 1 by root over 1 minus x square. Clear?
Yes, sir.
I hope 10th you can do. Many a times this kind of questions are coming. Now tell how will we do?
Differentiate with respect to x.
Can't hear.
Differentiate with respect to x.
Yeah. Dy by
Dy
dx.
is equal to 0
Hmm.
plus minus 1 by 1 plus x square.
Yes. So answer is minus 1 by 1 plus x square. Right? Now coming to this. Sine 2x we already did. So complete your clear your basic, okay? Then you can solve any big question as well. Now, see how will we do it? We can do directly also. Right? This is x only. And we know dy by dx of cos is how much? This is inverse of sine, correct? No? I mean, corresponding of sine. So what will we write? 1 minus x square, correct? What is x?
3x.
No, 3x. In place of x, we'll be writing 3x, no?
3x.
Whole square. Then d by dx of. So first we did for this thumbnail, sun, okay? And then we are doing for this. It is coming as 1 minus 9 x square into 3 will common, d by dx of x is 1, correct? So 3. So this is your answer. Minus 3, 1 minus 9x square. If you don't want to, if you don't want to do this, how will you do? Y equal to cos inverse 3x. This cos will come, this bring this here side. Cos y equal to 3x. Now let us do together. Differentiate with respect to x. So this will be, say no.
Minus sin y divided by dx is equal to 3.
Very easy. Then dy by dx is equal to minus 3 by sin y. But this is not our answer. Okay? Just check what they have given. There is no sign here. So you can just change sin into cos. Cos is given here. This will be
Root,
1
root of
minus
1 minus cos square y.
cos square y, and cos y is 3x. So this will become 3. 1 minus cos y is 3 from here. This will be 3x whole square. Answer came. One minus 9 x square. Clear? Very important method. So all these questions will be solved now. Let us do one for tan. Is your confidence little? Are you able to understand the fundamentals now?
Yes.
So we have to do many questions. Okay, don't get afraid, because if you practice, it will automatically come. Now tan inverse will come this side. Otherwise, you can simply write it like this: dy by dx is of tan inverse. This is, suppose this is x. So dy by dx will be how much? 1 plus x square. Right? And x is nothing but 5x. Here x equal to 5x. So you can write it 1 plus 5x square. So this will become 1 by 1 plus 5 square, 25, and x square. Very easy. Now let us do it with other formula. Okay, so that it will be practice for you. Can you just guide me?
Yes.
Tell. Second method.
Should I derive it or directly do it?
Yeah, so we'll bring tan this side. Shortcut we already did with formula.
Okay. Tan y is equal to 5x. Differentiate with respect to x.
Yeah, so now differentiate with respect to x. So tan y will become
Secant square y divided by dx is equal to 5.
then dy by dx.
Y by secant square y, which is root of 1 plus tan square y.
Root what complete?
Sorry, 1 plus tan square y.
So this will be 5 by 1 plus tan y is, now it is not x, it is 5x.
Ah,
So
into
5x by this much. Okay, how come this answer is here? It should be d by dx of this also. Okay. I was solving. So it should be d by dx of 5x. Only 5. So see, mistakes we couldn't catch here. Here we are able to catch. So you have to practice beta. Okay. 5 by 1 plus 5 square 25 x square. Okay. Let us do this without any mistake. Okay. Y equal to tan inverse x square. Don't go with shortcut. Let us do normal way. Okay. Tell me now, please. Differentiate with respect to x. What will come?
Is equal to x square.
Tan y is equal to x square. So now I'm not differentiating. I just brought tan y this side, tan inverse this side. Right? So now differentiating with respect to x. What will come? Tan y will come
Secant square y divided by x.
secant square y into y will become dy by dx. This will become
2x.
2x. So now dy by dx will become 2x by secant square y. Secant square y is how much? These formulas you have to remember. 1 plus tan square y. Now tan y is x square. Just substitute this value here. So in place of tan y, keep x square. 2x divided by 1 plus tan y is x square. But it is tan y square. 1 plus, sorry, x 4. Understood? No. Yes or
Understood.
no? Ah, yeah. You got it, no?
So is my voice low or
No, sometimes I'm not. I'm old, no?
okay?
I'm so soft spoken that. Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so I think you are getting comfortable, right?
So,
Let us solve this 15th. It's very simple. Inside whatever value comes, consider that as theta or x. Let us do here. Bring this side. See, cos y is equal to 1 minus 2x. Now differentiating with respect to x. Differentiating with respect to x. This will become how much? Cos y is minus sin y. This y will become, so first you're doing cos, then y. dy by dx is equal to 0 minus 2. Differentiation of x is 1. So this became, this is nothing but minus 2. This minus minus cancel. So dy by dx is equal to 2 by sine y. Now in question sine is not there. What we will write? 1 minus cos square y. Okay. This will become 2 cos y is this much. Okay. So it will be 1 minus 2x whole square. You can solve it further. Yeah. Is 2 by 1 minus a minus b whole square. Okay. This is 1 square plus a square plus b square, means it is 4x square minus 2ab. Okay. Minus 4x. This will become 2 by root over 1 minus 1 minus 4x square plus 4x. 1 cancel. So this became 2 by root over 4x minus 4x square. Clear? Now you can take 2 common here. 2 by 2 root over x minus x square. 2 cancel. So this is also answer. This is also answer. Right? Root over x minus x square. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Let us solve this. Yeah. Can you help me? Tan will go this side. So this will become tan y equal to x cube. Now differentiate with respect to x. What will come? Differentiate x. So tan y will become, you just tell me, I'm not writing.
Secant square y divided by d
Secant square y dy by dx
is
and
equal to 3x square
3x square. So dy by dx is equal to 3x square divided by secant square y. But in question, there is no secant here. So what we will do? 3x square divided by this 1 plus tan square y, and tan y is x cube. So you will just place tan y here. What will you place? x3. 3x3. 3x square, sorry. Divided by 1 plus tan y. Tan y is x cube. But there is a square here. So this will be this. So this is 3x square divided by 1 plus, how much it will come? x3 into x3 will be how much? x9 or x6?
6.
It is 6. Okay. So if you go with this flow, you will be able to solve everything. So I'm going with mixed differentiation. This one. Okay. NCERT will solve tomorrow. First, be comfortable. This is mixed one. What it is? So this can be solved in two ways. This is in UV form. Right? So d by dx of UV is how much? U into, tell me son. U outside, then dv by dx. Plus V outside, then du by dx. Yep. So now same thing we'll do. So differentiate with respect to x, dy by dx. So I'm taking our x outside. X is u. So please write in exam this. Otherwise,
Yes, sir.
You will not be able to solve. 1 minute. Plus. Now I will take v outside. Means sine inverse x. Then d by dx. If you've taken this x is remaining. So this became x into 1 by root over 1 minus x square plus sine inverse x into 1. So this is your answer. 1 minus x square plus sine inverse x. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Let us solve this together. Hope it is clear. Right? See? Differentiating with respect to x. This is again UV. So can you dictate from there?
Uh,
Hmm. Say
UV,
slowly, no problem.
sorry, UV rule or
Yeah,
directly the
UV rule, UV rule.
U dash V plus V dash U.
Okay, so I
So
take U
U
into
du
dV by dx. See, UV rule is, first you take U first, right? Then dV by dx. Then take V. Then it will be du by dx. Just telling,
is
saying both are correct. Now tell me, I'm
X
taking,
into 1 by 1 plus X square.
no, should not write directly. D by dx, tan inverse x. Why are you skipping this step?
Uh,
We are learning beta. We have to write everything. Now tell.
tan inverse X into dx by dx.
Okay? This is x into tan inverse x is
1 by 1 plus X.
hmm, plus into 1. So my answer is x by 1 plus x square plus tan inverse x. Okay. Let us assume the question is like this. Y equal to e to power, sorry. E to the power x3 into tan inverse x. This could be question, right? How will we do? Hmm? Don't worry. Just take this as u. This as v. So dy by dx, what we will do? UV rule is u into dv by dx plus v into du by dx. I have taken u as this. So here u is without differentiation. So this will be e to power x cube into d by dx of v. V is this much. Tan inverse x plus v. V is tan inverse x. Then d by dx of e to power x cube. Okay. Now we'll solve slowly. What is this? This is outside. Nothing will change here. D by dx of tan inverse x is 1 by 1 plus x square plus tan inverse x. Now d by dx of e to power x is e to power x. Okay. So this will be e to power x cube. Then we have to differentiate this. D by dx of x cube. So how much will come? You can just write this. This will be as it is. Say only this much will change, no? D by dx of x cube is 3x square. Right? So this is your answer. e power, sorry, e power x3 by 1 plus x squared and this. Am I right or wrong? Okay. So let us do one very complex exercise. Okay? Very important. So I am taking y equal to cos log tan inverse x. So here what will happen? First, this cos will be done. Cos will be differentiated. Then log will be differentiated. And then tan inverse x will be differentiated. And then x will be differentiated. So four steps. First, second, third, fourth. Chain rule. So differentiate with respect to x. This will be dy by dx. Okay. Keep telling me.
Uh, so it will be minus,
First, we'll do this.
yes,
So minus sine. So this will become
log,
theta. Yeah.
log
Log
tan inverse x.
into d by dx of log tan inverse x. Okay. So this is not gonna change. This will be as it is. Now this will get differentiated first. So log x is 1 by x, right? What will come? Log tan inverse 1 by tan inverse x into, never write everything at one time. You will get confused. Okay. So this is not going to change. This is not going to change. Tan inverse d by dx of tan inverse x 1 by 1 plus x square. So final answer will be, just copy this, minus sine log tan inverse x into this. This will be copied 1 by tan inverse x into this will be copied. Clear? Now very complex for you. Hmm? This is the last question we'll solve today. So I'm writing like this. Y equal to log sine tan inverse x square, and then you're taking sine here. So don't think that question is tough. Question is very easy if you know the method. So first this will get differentiated. Right? Sine. Second time log will be. Third time again this sine will get differentiated. Then fourth time this tan inverse. And then fifth time this x square. Clear? In exam, this kind of questions are very common. Okay? Because they want to test if you are aware of each and everything or not. Can you help me in doing this?
Uh,
Let me bring it down.
so, do you have any
Hmm.
is equal to cos
Then copy all. Hmm? Tan inverse x square. So we'll be doing two steps you can do together, not beyond that. Log
1 by sine 1 by
Hmm.
sine tan
So don't do
inverse
like that.
x.
And what I'm telling, don't do like this. Write like that. So I'm doing for log. Step marking are there. Otherwise, they will not give you full marks. Sine tan inverse x square. Clear? Now, while you're copying, right? No need to write right now. Just write like this. But saving time, log will be 1 by sine. Log x, this is x. So this will become 1 by sine into tan inverse x square. So now we have done until here. Right? So this one is remaining. So what will you do? D by dx of sine into tan inverse x square. Okay. So in the next step, this much is fine. This also we can write. Now sine, right? Sine will become cos. Tan inverse x square, right? Then I will be doing for sine is done. We'll do for tan inverse d by dx of tan inverse x square. Right? So in the next step, what we'll do? So this much is done. This much is done. We'll just copy them. Now this much. Right? This is nothing but 1 by 1 plus x square. But now the x value is x square. So this will be x square whole square. Correct? Into d by dx of x square. So in the next step, what we'll do? So 1 is done. The second is done. Third is done. Fourth is done. Now this is 2x. Now you just copy everything. In the final step, we'll go copy. So we'll copy log cos of log sine tan inverse x square into this much cos tan inverse x square tan inverse x square. Then this much will come, right, to 1 by 1 plus x4, and this d by dx is 2x. This is our answer. Clear or not? So what did we learn today? All the inverse functions. Okay. Now homework for you. 2 questions. Can you note it down, beta? Y equal to sine inverse x cubed. Okay.
Yes.
Second, y equal to x into tan inverse x. Y equal to e to power x, into tan inverse x. You can solve and send it to me in WhatsApp, or we can discuss. No need to solve now. We'll sleep. Into cos inverse x. This is 5x. Yeah. Take one very long. Y equal to sine of log of tan inverse x cube. Yeah. Are you able to take?
Yes. I'll take a screenshot of one second.
Okay, take.
I won't be able to do this today anyways,
No, no,
because I
no.
have like
You can do tomorrow also. Okay.
because in school they gave me like 50 questions for math and like 30 questions for physics. I have to do some today right now before I go to sleep and like early morning tomorrow.
Okay, very good. At least you will be able to do now. Once your foundations are clear, no, then only you'll be able to make. Don't take any help from Google or AI tool. Okay, solve it by yourself. You can give me day after tomorrow also, not a problem. Or we'll discuss. I I just gave you in WhatsApp also. Okay? I think we are done. Yeah, I'm stopping. Are you watching